Cleveland pinned its hopes on quarterback Brian Sipe once more, hoping the league leader in touchdown passes would be able to dip into his magical bag of tricks and pierce the steel curtain again. Since the injury to star Browns runner Greg Pruitt, the new offensive heroes in Cleveland are Sipe and receivers Reggie Rucker, Ozzie Newsome, and Dave Logan. Could they score enough points to beat Pittsburgh, or would the mighty Men of Iron simply have too much muscle again? The answer would be forthcoming in yet another wild and crazy Pittsburgh-Cleveland matchup on the NFL Game of the Week. Defying conventional football wisdom, the Browns in 1979 have thrown better than half the time, yet have been winning consistently. With a crippled running game, Cleveland has had no other recourse. But a lot of passing means the defense knows what's coming. They can occasionally gamble with a blitz, as the Steelers' Jack Ham, number 59, did on the game's first series. But one of the best ways to beat the heat of the pass rush is to have a mobile quarterback. And Sipe showed such agility before finally connecting downfield to Dave Logan, number 85. On third down, Sipe read the Steeler blitz perfectly and found number 82, Ozzie Newsome, open in the end zone. Cleveland led 7-0, then got a chance for more on the ensuing kickoff when Pittsburgh's Larry Anderson, number 30, in a moment of deja vu from last year's confrontation, fumbled another kickoff return. After a mad scramble, the ball was awarded to Cleveland. But this time, the steel curtain and linebacker Jack Lambert, number 58, would not allow a touchdown. The Browns settled for a Don Cockcroft field goal, making it 10-0. Pittsburgh finally began their first drive with 7 minutes already gone in the period. Using wide receiver Lynn Swann as a decoy, the Steelers were able to go to number 82, John Stallworth, a practice that would prove common throughout the game. Stallworth's grab put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the year on receptions and set up Pittsburgh's first score, a Matt Barr field goal, narrowing the lead to 10-3. Sipe returned for further duty, but ran into a familiar problem, a charging Pittsburgh defense that would be at his throat for most of the day. Steeler pressure forced Sipe into some hurry-up throws, but the skills of receivers like Newsome often bailed him out. Newsome's grab preceded another Cockcroft field goal, making it 13-3 Browns as the second quarter began. Terry Bradshaw then began a march by employing the talents of fullback Franco Harris, number 32. The fumble occurred after the play was over, so Franco was free to continue his chores. Bradshaw then looked for Big Benny Cunningham, number 89, and for a moment it looked like the duo had clicked for a score. The officials ruled the pass incomplete, Cunningham having lost the ball as he was hit. A second look shows that is exactly what happened. Thanks to a well-placed hit by safety Clarence Scott, number 22, the ruling was that Benny did not have possession long enough to permit the score. Scott's shot prevented an otherwise certain touchdown, and Pittsburgh got only another field goal to make it 13-6. Then it was back to a familiar scene. The Steelers hounding Sipe like bill collectors, and the plucky fellow then barely eluding their grasp to complete the play. This reception by number 35, Calvin Hill, moved the Browns deep into Steeler territory. Sipe tried for a touchdown in the corner of the end zone, but number 29, Ron Johnson, temporarily foiled such plans. The Browns fared better on the next play as Sipe found Logan, who used his size to beat Johnson for the score. Sipe's 23rd touchdown pass of the year put Cleveland ahead 20-6. They hoped to maintain that lead as Pittsburgh took over with a little over 2 minutes to go in the half. But then Bradshaw went to work, first by going over the middle to number 88, wide receiver Lynn Swann. Then it was strictly the Franco and Rocky show. Short, quick flips in the flat met by punishing Cleveland tackles. But the plays were low risk and highly effective. Pittsburgh climaxed the drive when Bradshaw spotted Harris for the Steelers' first touchdown of the game, coming with just about a minute left in the first half. Now the Steelers were back within range, and although Cleveland had had the better of things in the first 30 minutes, and although they still led, one couldn't help but wonder if matters would stay status quo. If past history had any bearing, the second half would be filled with heart-stopping plays, controversy, and ultimate disappointment for the Cleveland Browns. As it turned out, history would repeat itself again. Against Central Division foes, the Steelers have won 23 of 28 played here at Three Rivers Stadium. Sipe was well aware of Pittsburgh's home turf domination and fired to increase Cleveland's tenuous 7-point lead. Rangy wide receiver Dave Logan, number 85, proved to be Sipe's most valuable ally, catching 3 passes for 61 yards on the drive. Number 33, Reggie Rucker, contributed a key 18-yard reception for a first down, as Sipe systematically dissected Pittsburgh's vaunted secondary. In a critical 3rd and 18 situation, Dave Logan again found a seam in the steel curtain. It was only fitting that the drive that was born and sustained by passing be concluded through the air, and indeed it was. Veteran Calvin Hill climaxed Sipe's masterful 80-yard aerial show and extended Cleveland's lead to 14 well into the 3rd quarter. While receiver Dave Logan emerged as Sipe's most effective tool, Terry Bradshaw selected a running back to aid him in his second half efforts, number 32, Franco Harris. Relentless running by Harris forced Cleveland's linebackers to play tight to stop the run. Realizing that the Brown linebackers weren't getting the deep drop on pass coverage, Bradshaw fired into the vacant middle. Underrated tight end Randy Grossman was hauled down 47 yards later. But just to keep everyone honest, Harris iced the drive he had initiated. Harris was in the midst of an afternoon that would ultimately net him well over 200 yards of total offense. His second touchdown of the day made it 27-20 Cleveland. Unfortunately for Franco, the next time he touched the ball, he'd wished he hadn't. Harris's fumble is yet further evidence why the world champions lead the entire NFL in turnovers. The Browns were quick to capitalize as 34-year-old Don Cockroft split the uprights for his remarkable 200th career field goal. Although Cleveland led by 10 with less than 10 minutes to play, there was something peculiar about their defensive front this Sunday. Traditionally a defensive end, number 77 Lyle Alzado was forced into duty as a tackle, while lineman Mike St. Clair was starting his first game in many weeks. Bradshaw capitalized on the Browns' defensive tentativeness by throwing. Number 89, Benny Cunningham, is a potent weapon, posing problems for any defense, and he served Bradshaw well. Cunningham's grab near the goal line is worthy of a second look, which reveals that Bradshaw's accuracy and feather touch allowed big number 89 to make the catch between converging defenders. Cunningham was sorely missed last year despite the Steelers' third world championship. His catch took Pittsburgh to the Cleveland 1, but number 57 Clay Matthews finished off Bradshaw, who foolishly held on too long instead of throwing the ball away. Bradshaw quickly erased his 13-yard loss and error in judgment, however, by nailing John Stallworth at the Cleveland 3. Stallworth's catch set up Franco Harris's third touchdown of the day from 3 yards out. Harris's scoring run cut the Browns' lead to 3 and conjured up the wrath of the Steel defense that transformed Sipes' fancy passing into a passing fancy. Number 68, L.C. Greenwood, is making another strong showing in '79 as his 5 sacks of Sipe provided added proof. A punting situation was the result, and a determined Theo Bell, number 83, made the most of it with just over 2 minutes remaining. Bell's 27-yard effort placed the Steelers at midfield, and Bradshaw sought to attain field goal range and tie the game. Short swing passes to excellent all-around back Rocky Bleier did the trick. Bradshaw continued to exploit the right side of Cleveland's defense with a bullet to John Stallworth. With 24 seconds remaining in regulation, rookie place kicker Matt Barr coolly booted Pittsburgh into overtime, tying it at 30. Sudden death has been commonplace for Brian Sipe and his fellow Clevelanders this season. Amazingly, 9 of their 12 games have been decided in the final minute of play, 2 in sudden death overtime. When Cleveland won the toss, Sipe wasted little time. Sipe had been criticized for being a frail quarterback earlier in the year, but this gutsy run against the hard-hitting Steelers should lay to rest all such future talk. But just as number 17 silenced the critics, Steeler cornerback Mel Blount, number 47, silenced Sipe. Blount's interception shrouded Sipe's 333-yard passing day, and Bradshaw methodically moved Pittsburgh downfield with well over 13 minutes remaining in the overtime period. With fellow wide receiver Lynn Swann drawing double coverage all day, John Stallworth continued to be a productive alternative. Eventually, however, even the best give in to temptation, as was the case when Bradshaw tried to force one to Swann. Cornerback Ron Bolden provided Bradshaw with a lesson in patience. And when the Steelers got the ball back, Terry was taught yet another, dealing with the importance of tucking away the football while running. Flailing fists on the AstroTurf indicated that this time Terry was fortunate enough to learn while maintaining ball control. Now it was Terry's turn to teach, and he instructed Cleveland that once again they'd leave Three Rivers in frustration. Bradshaw's 28-yard gain again put Pittsburgh's fate squarely on Matt Barr's shoulders, this time with 13 seconds remaining in sudden death. Most rookie kickers seem to have a flair for the lump in the throat. Matt Barr seems to feel more at home with champagne flowing down his. This victory boot in sudden death meant that he has been personally responsible for rescuing 3 Steeler victories this season. As a result, Pittsburgh remains tied with Houston for the division lead, while Cleveland falls 2 games off the pace with but 3 to play. Perhaps this 9th straight loss at Three Rivers may be the worst to swallow, because for over 74 minutes, nearly 5 full quarters of football, Cleveland never trailed.